Why can't I hear this? Oh, there's no video. Do ba do ba do ba do ba do ba do ba do. What are you? So much. Well, hello. Welcome to Friday, April 22nd, 1 p.m. Central Time. My name's Sonia Javette. This is my, what number are we? We're on episode 59. Can't believe we got this far. Episode 59, and it's a whopping 79 degrees, and it's cloudy outside, which makes my joints hurt. Oh, my muscles go. Meh. But anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful day to be here. My special guest today is Miss Sara Hickman. I'm going to bring her on board, and we're going to chat. We're going to have a good time having a conversation. Let me give Miss Lucy her treat, There you go. Take it. Thank you. And now she'll be happy and satisfied for the whole show.
Yay!
Got to give them that whoopee, whatever it is. I saw you have a pet. What is it? What?
It's a fox terrier, and her name is Twig.
Aw. Hi, Twig. How you doing? How long have you had Twig?
She just turned 2 on Christmas Eve last year. So we got her right before the pandemic. So she's a pandemic puppy, but she's getting much more socialized, and she's super smart.
Pandemic rescue puppies are the thing. That's what Lucy is. I've had
Yeah.
her for about 6 months now. It's been a
Oh, no,
blessing. And
well, thanks for being a puppy mama.
yes, I'm learning. I've always thought I was allergic to animals, and for some reason, she doesn't bother me, make me break out in hives, or feel like I need to go to the hospital. I'm like, yay, finally, one for me, one for me. So I was looking at your website, and it is amazing. Your history, your background, where you are now, and where you have come from. I was like, yeah, I didn't. Wow, wow. So, kudos, just super wow. Um, the link with the necessary angels. I got stuck in there for a good couple of hours. I was like, I never heard of hardly any of these. So, we're gonna get into all that,
Yeah.
talking about all that kind of
Okay.
stuff. So I appreciate you. Well, so hi, friend. What's going on?
Hi, Fred. I'm excited to be here because I think you're just whiz bang cool. You know, you're just I don't know you that well, but the times I've been around you, you're so peaceful and loving, and you're just a creative force of nature. So I'm very honored to be here today.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna make me cry. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. um, let's see. Ooh, this. Uh, do y'all know who we're talking to today? Oh my gosh, I was like, I need her bio, but you need it. We'll start
Oh
with
no,
the.
you can ask me and we'll kind of fill it in because most people don't know who I am,
Let me ask
except
you
in the
one.
Philippines.
In the what? No, I know
Yeah.
you from I know you from way far long time ago. So I know who you are. Dallas knows who you are, even though we're in Austin,
Mhm.
or I'm in Austin. But let me pull up my plethora of questions. That's what I'll do, because I like to ask off the wall questions that
Yay.
musicians don't usually get, because you always get the same question. So first question is, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
My superpower would be to end war. Because if I ended war, I would most likely end oppression, uh, the sex slave industry, famine, water shortages, housing problems. So that would be my superpower, that I could bring peace wherever I went.
Just radiate it out. You will now be peaceful. You will now be peaceful.
Actually, I'd probably just sing a peaceful song and then everybody would fall under the spell of peace. And then everyone would get along and we'd be a much happier planet as a result.
So your superpower is music, which is what you are.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. Because that is exactly what one of the things that keeps driving me in my music is uh, maybe something that I sing or hum or something will put to someone who needs to help with the healing of the world. So we're right on the same path with that. I was like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah, and you're right about that. Before we continue on, first let me ask you: is there an echo or is there a delay?
No, nope,
Okay,
we're
good.
good.
Well, I'll just tell you a quick story. So I was hired by the state of Montana, the Montana Arts Council, to tour Montana. And during the day, they had me playing in schools, and at night I did theater shows. And I went to this one school that was pretty white privilege. And most of the schools I'd gone to were very small. They might have kindergarten all the way to high school, and there might be 14 kids. So a lot of the schools were very run down, very, very
Wait, my brain. I was like, wow,
yeah.
okay,
So
wow.
I would have to sing to, kids as young as 6 all the way up to 18, which let me tell you, that's a challenge in itself to
Hmm.
engage that wide of an age group. But, the last school I went to was brand new. It was all white kids. And the principal was pretty rude to me. He said, well, we're not expecting you. And I was like, well, the arts council sent me here. This is the place I'm supposed to be. He was grumpy. Then he took me to the music teacher, and he was grumpy. Nobody really wanted me there. And they had a brand new theater that held like 800 kids.
Whew.
It was huge. And they didn't have a PA. The music director was grumpy and just brought me a little tiny PA for my guitar and a mic that went through the large PA. So the guitar was on one little tiny amp and my voice was big, right? Anyway, the director said, well, I'll have to go out and get the kids out of recess, so hold on. So he went away, and I didn't have much to set up, and I was waiting, and all these kids come filing in, and they're just jacking around. They don't really care I'm there either. So I think I did 2 songs, and by then I was so disheartened because they were rude, they weren't listening, whereas all the other kids had been so attentive and sweet. And so I was getting mad, and I did something I'd never done before. I stopped myself in a song, and I said to all 800 kids, you know, I can tell y'all aren't digging this, and I can tell from the principal and everybody that you weren't expecting me today. So I'm just going to do one more song, and I'd love it if you'd sing along, and then you guys can go back to whatever you're doing. And they all went, yay. So, and junior high kids to me are, just hormonal and crazy anyway. So unless you're doing something they're really into, forget it. So I sang this song that's a really sweet goodbye song about wishing people well and wishing them love. And then they all filed out, and I was putting my guitar away, and I was just feeling like a failure. Like, why did I come here? This has just been really antagonistic. And as I was putting my guitar away, I felt this little tap on my shoulder, and I turned, and it was this kind of willowy young girl, probably 12, and she had long platinum blonde hair, and she was crying. And she said, I'm so glad you came today because my best friend, my grandpa, just died last week, and I've really been missing him. And when you sang that last song, I knew it was from him, just to me. So thank you for coming today. And then I started crying, and we're hugging each other. And I realized what you just said, it didn't matter that I didn't connect with 799 kids who just could care less about some lady from Texas. This one girl really needed to feel like her best friend was still with her. And that made my whole day. All the other stuff went out the window. So I agree with you that sometimes we can't control what the audience does or where we are. But if we just can, first of all, the fact that I stood up for myself and said, y'all aren't digging this, that's cool. I'm not digging it either. I think that was pretty courageous because I don't think a lot of people would stop. They'd just keep going and be miserable. And I've seen people do that where I'm wanting to send them a note and say, get off stage. But so I'm really grateful that she felt loved. That was really important to me.
And the fact that she came up and spoke to you is the synergy that happened there. So that's the beautiful thing. So,
and I probably wouldn't remember that day except in a negative way if she hadn't come up and corked it with this peaceful, loving, sweet, sad story. And I'm still talking about her to this day. So she was my little angel that day.
Moments. That's what artists create and relay. We create moments. So you should see how my brain works.
I think our brains are probably on the same planet Zook. And it's like you're thinking about this thing and this thing's going off and you're like, oh, I need some paper. Oh, I need to put that on my phone, or I got to record this song idea. Yeah, I feel you.
Or remember to speak human and not Sonia. It's on your knees because it goes. I'm like, no, they don't understand that. Wait a minute. When I was younger, they told me I had ADD, and that was at the age of 30 something. And I was like, really? I thought everybody's brain was like this. No, they're not. Okay. All right, fine. So, okay, next question. What are you reading right now that you would like to share with other people? What?
I would love to share what I'm reading with other people. Hold on.
Because I know you also. She's a writer.
I got you covered. Hold on.
Maybe she'll share her books with us because she's writes books.
So excited. I get to talk about this. Okay. First of all, I went to Montgomery, Alabama, and met this wonderful woman named Michelle Browder, who created these enormous, I think the largest one is 16 feet tall and the other ones are 12 feet tall, images of 3 slave women who in the 1860s and 70s were operated on by this white doctor who's known as the father of gynecology. And these 3 women, didn't get any anesthesia or anything. And one of the women, Anarcha, was operated on over 32 times. So this woman, Michelle Browder, felt like we need to celebrate these 3 women and not that white doctor who had no respect for these women. So it was a very moving experience, and I love Michelle. Michelle, she's awesome. But while I was there, I also went to the bus station where Martin Luther King sat and protested, and I bought these books, Little Legends.
Nice.
By Vashti Harrison, and they are amazing. I know they're children's books, but they really tell you about a lot of different people that you wouldn't know about. So I'm trying to buy a bunch of these to send to Uganda because I work with kids in Uganda for their libraries. And then I'm reading The Case for Socialism, which my youngest daughter, Io, read and said, you've got to read this book. And it is amazing. I love it so much. I'm going to read it online when I finish it. I'm going to read a chapter every day live on Facebook Live because it's
cool.
Because so many people think of socialism as this naughty, nasty word, and America's already pretty socialistic. They can say they're not, but we are. We pay taxes, and that pays for our streets and our lights and our public education, and we have Social Security. The word social is in Social Security, and we have a lot of health programs that are social based. So I want to be a champion for socialism because I want to take that name back and make it a positive experience for people. And I think people like you or me that people might know about and already have faith in will listen to me, and maybe then they'll think about it, or they'll go buy this book or something like it, and we can spread the good news about socialism.
There you go. Positiveness. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's you like it. Okay, so
I like the questions you're asking me. Thank you.
You're welcome, because you want to be. It's like we got more than just. It's like ask us something else. Oh, what is your favorite thing to eat, either before or after you perform?
That's a good question. No one has ever asked me that. Before I perform, I don't eat because unless it's several hours before, because it makes me burp. I don't like to burp on stage, and if I can feel a burp coming, I'll figure out a way to sing a word to either shorten it or replace it, or I'll hold off and then change the rhythm of a line. But afterwards, I really love to go out with the band or friends and stay out pretty late, and we'll just go to a 24-hour diner, whatever city we're in, and or sometimes we'll sit in the bar of the hotel and share drinks and sit up and talk. And you know this, but after a performance, my energy level is way up because when I perform, I like to give my whole body, my whole person, and so I'm always jacked up after show. I'm really happy and excited because so far, I'm knocking on wood, I've never gotten booed off stage in my I don't know how long I've been performing, since I was in my 53 years of performing. I've never gotten booed, so I've never had to leave the experience feeling crappy,
Wonderful blessing. I have been booed off the stage once.
No,
it was at a drag queen show, and I didn't know it was a drag queen show because it said open mic. So I went and did an open mic at a drag queen show, and they did not like me. I was like, oh, my bad. Bye.
Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
I was like, well, you don't like live sync? Okay, you want to, okay, no problem.
So they were just doing lip syncing too?
Yeah, and I was like, no, I sing. You don't want me to sing? Oh, I don't, okay.
Well, then they shouldn't call it open mic.
There you go.
They should call it open sync, and then you would know.
Or a drag queen show or something. Anyway, yes, after a show, starving and could probably run a marathon. Bing. Yeah. So it's a.
What do you like to eat before a show or after a show?
I'm a super nerdy eater. I like to eat things that crunch and that are healthy. So celery, carrots, rice cakes that are organic, or I'm learning how to get more vegan. So those vegan burger patty things, the what are they?
Oh,
Morning Star
mm.
something, tasty. I was like surprised. I was like, "Oh, this is good. I could eat
You know
this."
what? I need to tell you, have you ever gone to Citizen Eatery
No, I'm
on
a
Vernon?
chicken.
Yeah,
Go.
I've never been there till last night, and it's all vegan, and they
Ah,
have this dessert. It was the best dessert I've had in my entire life. It's chocolate avocado mousse, like a chocolate mousse, with coconut milk whipped topping. I am telling you, I wasn't sure about chocolate and avocado. It was so dense, and then the whipped cream was really dense too. And then they put a little sea salt and caramel in it or something. Oh my
ooh,
gosh. I would
that
go there and meet you for lunch anytime just to eat several of those. And I know they're probably not healthy. I mean, you sound like you're much healthier than I am. I'm a sugar person.
chocolate is healthy. Chocolate is good for you. It's legal. It's
Well,
good
the
for your
avocados are healthy.
system.
So I guess that's true. And coconuts are healthy for you. So
Absolutely. I don't know about avocados for me and my system. I might no, but I will try it. I will try anything twice, because the first time something might have been left out, like a little seasoning of some sort. I don't know.
mhm.
So yeah, I tried things twice. There is a bug or a fly in my apartment, and my dog is losing her mind. So if we see a dog fly by, that's what's
No
happening.
pun
I'm like,
intended. Now you have a dog fly.
dog fly gonna be gone. My dog's like, yeah, I'm like, wait. Funny. Okay. Are you working on any new songs now? Or
Yes.
okay.
Yes, I am.
Do you
So for people that don't know me that might be watching, so I've been a professional musician since I was 14. I had my first gig at 14, paid gig for the Houston Oilers, and I was the only girl. I was the only girl there with a guitar, walking around this giant swimming pool with all these football players, drinking beer, and I don't even know how I got that gig, but at the end of the night, after I'd walked around playing, the guy who hired me paid me $450, and I was like, and that would have been in 1978 or something. So that was about $2,000 or $3,000 if you put it in today's dollars. And I thought, wow, I also get paid to sing. This is awesome. So anyway, I've been doing it a long time. I've gotten to play the Tonight Show twice, and I was at Carnegie Hall, and I've traveled the world, and I was
Rolling
a singer
Stones has
for the
talked about
Popeyes
it.
ad for the last 14 years. So I love that chicken from Popeyes. But
Say
then,
it again.
pardon
Say it again. Popeyes
me?
what?
The love that chicken from Popeyes.
Haha.
Did you
Okay.
ever hear it? You know, love that chicken from Popeyes. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, Well, anyway, that was me. So 5 years ago, I got kind of tired of the music industry and the direction it was heading, and I could see the writing on the wall, and I felt like, I'm going to step back. So I retired, and then the pandemic hit, and then people were asking me to sing, and I was like, why do you want me to sing when there's Sonia Javette? There's all these amazing musicians out there that could sing for you. And they were like, but we love you, we want to hear you. So I started singing a song a day during the pandemic, and then I did a Sarathon, which was me for 24 hours live straight.
Watch
um,
that. I
yeah,
saw
that
that.
was a big challenge, and it was really, really fun. But anyway, so that led me back into this thing called Real Women, Real Songs, where there was 21 of us around the world, and every week we got a prompt to write a song. So it was a
Mm.
one-word prompt, and then you had the week to write the song, videotape yourself performing the song, and then upload it. So that was for the entire year, and I wasn't sure if I could do it, but I ended up writing all these songs. And I don't know about you, but I am still amazed when I write a song. It's always like that mystery of, where did it come from? How did I get it? Instead of Sonia, like, your songs or somebody else, I hear them sometimes and think, wow, their radio connection was really good with the universe. The universe,
Yes.
the song, right? So I'm always super grateful when I write a song, because I'm just in awe, not so much that it's me, but so much that it's happened. So I have all these new songs, and so I've started recording some of them. What I'm mostly doing now is recording a song and then creating a video for it, because I've really gotten into video editing. So I'll create a video, edit it, and then put that up with the song. So I'm working on a song right now, and then I'm trying to do more voiceover work because the Daisy Sour Cream and the Popeyes and the Walmart and all that stuff, the singing commercial jingles pays a lot of money, and it really supports me and my family while I'm being a creative person, and so that gives me the freedom to be creative.
Mm,
So that's my next goal, is to get more commercials.
right. That's yes to all of this. Would you like to play us a song? Sync licensing is my next thing. I've been told I should do voiceovers. I am so thankful you're here. I would love to have a song from you.
Okay, let me grab my guitar again.
Guitar.
Guitar. So I'll sing you the song I'm working on right now. I'm
Okay, I'm
working
gonna
on.
drop out. I'm gonna drop out a scene so
Oh,
that you
okay.
can be on. Oh, you know what? I didn't even put the little banner. Me. Oh.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
I see it.
Yeah, that's your.
Scrolling. Oh, that's so nice. Welcome to SBP Live. Sara Hickman, HTTPS. Okay. So, hi, everybody. So, this is a song I wrote for Eugene Goodman, who you may or may not know is the gentleman who was an officer at the Capitol on January 6th. And he prevented all the crazy white people from busting in on Congress and harming people further. Um, and to me, he was a hero, and he deserved a hero's song. So this is for Eugene Goodman. And since his last name is Goodman, I call the song The Good Man. Standing alone, defending the halls of the house where freedom's depending on a good man, a black man, holding his own amidst a mob of completely unhinged white men. You were running backwards up the stairs. Oh, the seconds, they seem like years, but you never showed a single ounce of fear. You kept your wits and your nights, shoved a proud boy coming at ya to face the hate of the Ku Klux Klan. Ah, you stood in the way of a dreadful disaster, not for your courage. I shudder at them. What would it come after? Oh, 'cause if they catch you, you know what they'll do. Whitewash the news, they're bloody charlatans. Why is a good man seen as less than? Simply because of the color of his skin. So I thank you for standing up to the red, white, and racist people who are un-American. They're un-American. I read you said you're too black for the badge, and you're too blue for the brothers. Still you keep your eyes on the prize, protecting others. 'Cause you believe in right and wrong, and that's why I wrote you a hero song. 'Cause you stood in the way of the dreadful disaster, if not for your courage. Oh, I shudder to think what would it come after. Oh, 'cause if they catch you, you know what they'll do. Whitewash the news, they're bloody charlatans. Why is a good man seen as less than? Simply because of the color of his skin. So I thank you for standing up to the red, white, and racist people who are un-American. Cradled inside the Confederate flag lives the devil himself. Yeah, he rebels in hell, but the good man lives for somebody else. Oh, it's never himself. No, it's everyone else. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh. 'Cause if they catch you, you know what they'll do. They'll whitewash the news, they're bloody charlatans. Why is a good man seen as less than? simply because of the color of his skin.
That's a groove. That's a head bob. That's a strong positive message.
Thank
You is a powerful sister. Nice,
Oh, I like the lift
nice.
where it lifts up in the middle and it talks about the Confederate flag. Cradle
Mm.
inside the Confederate flag is the devil himself. And the word for that week was cradle. So I was like, where am I going to stick cradle in this song about Mr. Goodman? And it worked out, I think, pretty good.
I'm still grooving in my head, so let me have this.
Yeah, so I'm going to put a video together after we work with Eddie Hobazal and Lance Schreiner, and they're producing it. And then I'm going to make a video and I'm going to send it to him to say thank you for being such an amazing human being and not losing your cool and dealing with some psychopaths. So
That brother did good. Like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
I don't
I know
know.
his eyes got like this, like,
Yeah, if I had all those guys after me, I would have been, I don't know what I would have done. Maybe I would have been as brave as him, but I don't think so. That was pretty amazing. So
Thank you for sharing that song. That's
thank you.
excellent.
Thank you.
Y'all heard it here. Okay. Question mode. Is your family musical? Did you come from a musical family background?
That is another good question. Well, my mom played piano when she was a little girl, and she was classically trained. But when we were growing up, she didn't really play the piano. On my dad's side, my dad didn't play any instruments, but his parents, my grandparents, my grandmother in the 1920s and my great aunt, Mary and Martha, they went to New York City and they had their own radio program called the Ozark Smile Sisters. And my grandmother played the piano and sang, and my great aunt Mary sang. And so they were very musical and they were carried nationally. So I recently inherited this trunk full of fan mail to them and telegrams from the radio station inviting them to come have the show and photographs. I'm so excited. My grandpa, who wasn't my grandpa at the time, of course, in the 1920s, was touring with big swing bands playing saxophone and clarinet. So as I was growing up, they bought a house in Rogers, Arkansas, and my grandmother had her baby grand Steinway. And I would, every summer we'd go visit my grandparents and I'd bring my little Yamaha classical guitar and we would sit around the piano. My grandmother would play piano. My grandfather would play saxophone or clarinet and I would play guitar. So because of them, I learned all these 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s songs. And it was different from what I was learning on the guitar back in Houston where I grew up. So they really influenced me. You know, I have to give a shout out to my grandmother. Neither one of them are still alive, but my grandmother always said, no matter what the style is, no matter what's in fashion, always articulate your lyrics because it's really important to the people that really want to hear what you're saying. And I'm really grateful she said that to me because I've always tried not to be mealy mouthed or kind of that wispy, that kind of stuff. And which is fine. If you're wispy, then whisk away. I'm just saying, I'm not wispy. But yeah, that was really, really cool. And I really miss spending time with them like that because it was such a huge gift. So really, you know, my parents were very supportive of me making music, but I didn't make music with them. It was just always with my grandparents or by myself at home.
Nice blessing. Nice blessing. They taught you how to groove, is what they did.
Yeah, and it was fun being in a power trio with my grandparents, you know, and a lot of things I did in my career, I was excited for my grandparents. Like when I did the Tonight Show the first time, to know they were watching really meant the world to me. And then, you know, when I met George Burns, who I was a huge fan of, and we videotaped that, my grandparents had photos. When you walked in the front door, right there on the wall was photos of me and George Burns. They were so excited. So, you know, I know most people are excited about what their friends think, but I was excited about what my grandparents thought because they were professional musicians and I got to do a lot of things they didn't get to do. So I'm grateful to them for all those summers.
Yay, grandparents. Good job. Good job. Good job. Nice blessing, George Burns. Oh my gosh. Okay. We asked about your doggy. Oh, did you play music No, no, no. We don't want to do that one because we know it's all about music. That's my file catalog going. What do we want? Okay. What is something that was told that
Something that something told me.
they told what is a positive thing that someone has told you that has stuck with you that kept you inspired to be an artist?
That is, wow. I've been really blessed to be around some. Well, I have to say, two things come to mind. The first one is Rose Stone, who was from Sly and the Family Stone. She came in to perform on an album of mine in Los Angeles. I needed a backup gospel choir, and she heard me singing, and she said, "Get over here and sing with us." And so I got to sing with her, and her positive envelopment of me, and was just stellar. It really made me feel powerful, and it made me feel loved. And another one was, before I started on that project, I was in Canada performing with a man named Peter Himmelman, who's Bob Dylan's son-in-law. But of his own right, Peter Himmelman is an amazing songwriter, very wonderful guy. And he and I were sharing a show in Canada. And when I got off, I was talking to him, and I said, the label wants me to do this and this and this. And he said, well, and he wrote it on a little piece of paper, and I still have it. He said, never change who you are for anybody else except yourself. And I that meant so much to me too, because he'd just seen me perform, so he knew kind of what I was like. And so I always stood up to the label, no matter what they wanted to do. If it wasn't something I was comfortable with, or I felt like was a good reflection of me, I would say no, even when it made people mad. And I'm glad I did, because even if nobody knows who I am watching this, or if nobody knows who I am in general, I still have my integrity. When I'm 80 years old, I'll be able to look back and go, I had an amazing, wonderful career, and I never sold out. I didn't change to become something other people wanted me to be.
Authentically herself is what she's saying. That's what she said.
That's what I said right here.
That's right. That's what I said. That's what I said. Oh, so truthful. To that point, part of the reason why I keep doing music as the way that I do it is because you don't get to see my style out there, but I am out there, and I still do it because I am not in any form or fashion fake. There you go.
What?
Fake.
Oh, okay.
Not. I'm authentic. There you go. I'm gonna leave it that way. There you go.
So wait, so you don't perform live out in public because you're authentic?
No. That's not what I meant to say. It's not. I meant clarity, filter, human. I'm authentically myself. That's what I'm going to say. No, I do perform out live. I perform more online than I have out real life, because I was doing, another segue, I was doing a Second Life, which I'm an avatar in a game, and they pay me to play. You know how Facebook is now Meta?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be avatars? What? I was like, okay, so we did a full circle. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. So I perform more online than I have in real life, but I'm ready to perform out now because I just graduated school. We're not interviewing me. We're talking about you. Thank you.
So I want to come see you perform live. Where would I come see you?
I don't have a spot right now. I really don't. I have done what you call them, residencies. Mm-hmm. After a while, your brain goes, no more of that. No more of that soup. I want something else. I'm ready to be around. I'm ready to tour. I've never toured. So I'm ready to, I haven't done a lot, but I know music.
Well, I see a keyboard and a bass. Are those your two main instruments?
And guitar.
Okay. So when you play live, do you have loops and stuff going on, and then you play with yourself, or do you play guitar, or do you play mainly keyboards, or what do you do?
I do all of the above depending upon the gig. Yesterday I played for a retirement home, so it was just me and my guitar and my little Fender vocal and guitar amp. No pedals, none of that. But when it's a bigger show and they have enough for me. Then I'll bring my all my stuff with me, so my pedal board and my guitar and the big amp.
Wow. Well, I
But
want to see you because I've never seen you live.
right on.
So I don't know if you have a newsletter list or how
I
I.
do. I have it's SoniaJavette.com is all the stuff. I have a newsletter and a Patreon and a blah 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 blah. We're not talking about me, we're talking about you. So let's talk about let's talk about your necessary angels. Um
Okay.
uh
Do you want me to talk about why they're called necessary angels?
that I love the concept. Yes, explain
Okay.
this concept of your page because it's
Well,
brilliant.
let me say this. So and this is going way back before you were even born. Probably most of your viewers.
Girl, we probably you don't black
Well,
don't
whatever.
crack. Black don't crack.
You with me. So yeah, in 1994, I got dropped from Elektra,
Mm,
and then I found out I wasn't going to be able to re-record or release the songs I just finished recording with Elektra for 5 years at least. And so I was pretty devastated. Plus, I was embarrassed because when you get dropped from a major label, everybody knows about it, and it felt like I was a loser. But I was talking to my mom one day, and she said, you should buy those songs back. And I was like, Mom, they just spent like $500,000 on this album. There's no way. She's like, well, you can't know unless you try. And you could get your fans to help you. And I thought about that, and I thought, I'm going to call and ask. So I called the lawyer in New York at Elektra without telling my manager. And I called up there, and he got on the phone. His name was Gary. And I said, hey, Gary, this is Sara Hickman. How are you doing? Good. I said, are you sitting at your desk in your office? And he said, yeah. And I said, do you have a framed photo of your family? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, Gary, let me tell you, I don't have a family like that. I don't have kids. I have my songs, and they're my children. And right now, Elektra is holding them hostage. So I would like to buy them all back. And there was just this long pause, and he said, you know how much money we spent on these songs, right? And I said, yeah. And he said, how would you buy them? I said, I'll ask my fans, and we'll raise the money, and I will buy them from you. And he said, I'll think about it. So I got off the phone, and I'm pretty positive. So I thought, I think about it is a good answer, right? He didn't say no. Anyway, long story short, he called my manager and said, we are willing to sell the songs to Sara for $100,000. Now, in today's world, that doesn't maybe sound like much, but in 1994, that was a lot of money. And so back then we didn't have the internet, but what I did was I wrote this letter, and I Xeroxed it on this really pretty paper, and I hand wrote the addresses of, I don't know how many fans I had, a lot of fans, 10,000, 15,000, whatever it was. And I had friends come over and help me address, because back then you used to have to keep a mailing list, right? Because we didn't have all this stuff.
Oh my God, paper was so expensive.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was expensive. I had money at that point because I'd gotten a bunch of advances. So all these letters went out explaining that I'd been dropped and that I wanted to buy the album back. Well, my fans, I had said in the letter, if you send $100, which was, I guess, pretty outrageous, but I did it. If you send $100, I will send you a Necessary Angels blue aluminum bracelet that's numbered, which I'd had to do research, not on the internet again. I'd called New York and found this company that would make aluminum bracelets in blue, and they would say Necessary Angels on them, and they numbered them from 1 to 1,000. So money started coming in, and I couldn't believe it. So I bought the album back from Elektra. And as far as I know, I was the first artist to ever do that. So it was kind of pre-Kickstarter. People also got bumper stickers that said Necessary Angel. And once the album was mine again, I had this big party. And the only way you could come to the party and hear the music live with my band was the bracelet. So people flew in from all over the United States. There was a person that flew in from Japan. I'm going to get teary-eyed. And they all came to the show, and it was all Necessary Angels. So after that, and once the internet came up, I thought it would be cool to have a necessaryangels.com, and it shows, I think it's 12 or 15 of my favorite nonprofits that I work with. So if I'm on stage and I'm talking about different groups, I can just send people to necessaryangels.com, and they can click on the link right there of these different groups, go to that site and donate money to them or get involved as a volunteer, because that's a huge passion of mine, is to engage my audience into thinking about things, A, they might not think about, and B, how their involvement can help make the world a better place. So that's my Necessary Angel story. Hey, Mom! My mom. Good idea, and I'm really glad she put it in my head, and I'm glad I followed through.
It is a wonderful idea, so much so that I'm now going to redo my website so I can add my favorites on there. I was like, this
Yeah,
is
you don't have to
brilliant.
redo your whole website. Just add links to your favorite places.
Yes, it's time because I'm out of my school, so I can actually come outside and go, oh, look, there's people to
And
do.
where did you graduate from?
I went to Arizona State University online from 2017 until 4 weeks ago. Classes.
Congratulations. That's amazing. And what did you get a degree in?
Communications, because I don't think I speak very well. And I know I speak well, but my brain doesn't filter well. So I have to go human speak and then talk. But and I don't as I don't city speak, I street speak easier. So thank you for being able to communicate with me. But I got it in communications from Arizona State University, and in May I'm going to go walk the stage because I'm like, yes, I'm going to go walk the stage. Yes.
Awesome. Well, I applaud you. I'm sorry I don't have a graduation gift for you, but
oh, you're part of the you're
oh,
part
you know
of
what
the
I could give you next time I see you? I'll try to remember to bring you this little
Aw.
car ornament. Woo, sparkly and everything.
Woo!
Okay.
This is anyway, I'm just grateful that you are here. I don't know if you remember when we met my first time of meeting you. Do you remember?
Was it when we were sitting around the table talking about the group that Nakia was starting?
It's even before that.
Where were we
This
before
is
that?
in Dallas, Sons of Herman's Hall.
You were at a Sons of Herman. Was it with Domestic Science Club, my side project, or me?
You either were a guest at an event that I was performing at with no PA system at all, and
Wait, was it you? Was Austin Lounge Lizards there too? No.
Maybe
I remember not having a mic at that one at Sons of Herman.
maybe at the front of the hall.
Maybe.
You said to me between a song was because I was trying to do a Tracy Chapman song. I was like, meh. You said, don't try to be like her, be yourself. And I was like, okay, that's what my mama says. So, okay. And since then, I have absolutely been authentically myself. With my mother saying, be yourself, do it yourself. And then you coming in my ear going, be yourself. I was like, who is this girl talking to me? You don't know. And then I find out who you are. And I was like, oh, yeah, she doesn't know. She do. She do. She don't know. So thank you for that.
Oh, well, I'm so glad I said the right thing in the right moment when you needed it.
You did. I was like, okay, I'm doing. Because it was anyway, big crowd of people. You couldn't hear me unless you were like right here in front of my face. It was one of those gigs.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Or wait, okay. Oh, would you like to do another song now?
Sure, I'd love to do another song.
Okay.
So I'll do something upbeat since that last one was.
It was upbeat because my head was bopping. I was like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked the groove of it. Thank you.
All right, here comes
So this is a song I wrote. It's called Hopeful, and normally the audience participates and does callbacks on the chorus. So if you want to do that at home, you just respond hopeful when I say hopeful, faithful when I say faithful, and grateful when I say grateful. I guess I'm supposed to be looking up here, so I'll look up there. The only time I've recorded this is in Uganda with the Ugandan African Children's Choir at their compound, which was a whole fun, crazy thing. So here is this song, Hopeful. I wish you would look me in the eye and see. I wish you could feel the heartbeat beating the message inside me. I wish you would hold my hand to know electricity. I wish for you, this way. No, 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 hopeful, hopeful. Even in the midst of pain. Hopeful, hopeful. Because it's never too late to be hopeful, hopeful, faithful, faithful, grateful, grateful. Life is gonna change. I wish you would use my hand. Oh, I've got the words. I wish you would da 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 da. I wish we could build a haven for the weary tonight. Why talk the talk, 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 when you could walk that walk, oh, oh, and be hopeful, hopeful. It won't always be this way. No, 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 no. Hopeful, hopeful. Even in the midst of pain. Oh, hopeful, hopeful. Because it's never too late to be hopeful, hopeful, faithful, faithful, grateful, grateful. Life is gonna change. I long to describe the inspired divine, living inside where we're all alive, all alright, all alike. La, 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 la. I long for you to delight in the surprises of life, the smiling sunshine, melting the ice, leaving behind. Oh, oh. Hey, well, I'm not gonna worry about today, 'cause you know I can control what happens anyway. I pray my reactions will be full of loving compassion and action, like I've been taught to be. Oh, oh, to be hopeful, hopeful. It won't always be this way. Hopeful, hopeful. Even in the midst of pain. Yeah, hopeful, hopeful. Because it's never too late to be hopeful, hopeful, faithful, faithful, faithful. Oh, faithful, faithful, grateful. Hopeful, hopeful, faithful, faithful, grateful, grateful. Life is gonna change.
That's so much fun. Wait.
And kids, see, I forgot lyrics to my own song that I wrote, and it's just fine. You just keep going.
You just
That's
keep
really
pushing through.
Just keep going.
I like the chords. I like the chord progression.
Modulation?
I like the chord progression, yes,
Oh.
and the modulation and the lyric layering that you did with hopeful, grateful, thankful. They did some both brilliant.
Thank you.
Because as artists, we get stuck in our own heads, and it's like, oh, something shiny, do that. That's like that. That's
Well,
good.
and you know, that's an interesting thing. I wrote this song for a friend of mine who attempted suicide. And, you know, their mom contacted me and asked if I would write them a song. And my first thought was, oh my gosh, what do I say? What do I say to somebody? And I've been depressed and suicidal, and it's just this big black hole that you go into, and it doesn't feel like anybody really cares, even when people are caring. But that song came out of me, and he loved it. I don't want to say he was revived by it, but it kind of, I don't even want to say it was a kick in the pants. It was just, it made him feel loved, you know, and that was my hope. I was being hopeful that I could share my faithful gratitude with him, and that it would inspire him not to give up.
It was on point. It did exactly that because my colors in my head are orange and yellow during that song. So I was like, "Oh, look, bright,
Oh,
cheery."
you're one of those people that has, what is it? Photosynthesis, or you see words and people in colors, right? What's
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And you're one of the first people to ever say it out loud to me.
Well, you know why?
Yes.
Because I read David Baldacci, and he has a character who was in high school. He was in a football game, and he got knocked out. And when he woke up, he's a detective, but he sees things in color. So when he walks into a crime scene, if it's whatever color it is, that says there was a murder. If there, he's I don't. It's not even auras, more so as his colors, and it has a name, but I can't think what the name is. So that's cool to meet somebody with it. Yay!
My brain goes ding, ding, ding. I was like, wait a minute, where are we going? So yes, yes, nice, good, two wonderful songs. Now that loop is awful stuck in my head. Hopeful, grateful, thankful, hopeful, grateful, thankful, thankful. It was like, yes, we are, especially during the pandemic. Shoot, yes, we
Oh
need that.
gosh, yeah.
Shoot. I'm one of those people that the pandemic, yes, affected me greatly, but I'm also one of those people that during the pandemic was much more successful
Mm-hmm.
than I had been before. Because because I was already performing online, I had more opportunities come to me from corporate gigs for online performing. So I was one of those people that gained out of the pandemic. And now that the pandemic's done, I'm like, I'm ready to take all the stuff that I learned and let's go out here and do that. So that your song made me think of that. I was like, yes, I'm ready to go.
You know,
I
and again, I haven't seen you live, but I wouldn't doubt that you are a very inspirational person. And there's something about when you invite the audience to participate with you, and that kind of push me, pull you. The way I always look at it, and maybe this is how you think of it, is there's strangers coming into a space and you are giving them your gift as humbly as you can, but also as authentically as you can. And then they respond in kind with applause, but more so than that, it's not even the applause. It's becoming a family. I love watching that. I love how strangers, especially when you get them to sing with you, then everybody's on the same page. And so by the end of the show, everybody feels like they know you and you feel a closeness to them. And that's always been my goal, is to lift people up and make them realize we're all connected, and music can be that connector. You know?
absolutely 100%. That's for real, she
So we're
said.
gonna have to do a show together. Mm.
I would be honored and grateful. Thank you very much. Yes. I'm a jam band girl, so I like to just put it on the beat and let's find some my brain said find some meat to go with it, put some ear candy and let's go.
I
But
love that.
that's the style. That's what I like to do with my music. So I use Logic X Pro right now, and then I have a SR18 drum machine that I mix and match together and play my guitar and bass and piano over it for my stuff. So I've been a one woman band. You know who Mobley is, the artist that's here in
Uh-huh.
Austin?
Yeah.
So I want to be a female Mobley.
Wow.
Thing. I want to get me an electronic drum kit and I want to be able to go blah 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 bling, 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 sing la la la. That's what I want to do.
I love that. Do you know who Tune Yards are?
Mm, uh, no.
You should check out Tune Yards.
All right.
The lead person in the band, I don't know if they're non-binary or not, but they do a lot of drumming, percussive stuff, and they sing and they use loops, but it's very eclectic and it's very authentic to who they are. And if I'm in a weird mood or a sad mood, I can put them on and just jump around. I think you'd like them. They're they're just very unique. I haven't heard another band like them. They're kind of like the Talking Heads for now.
Ah,
Like Talking Heads was when I was in college. They're not as well known, of course, as Talking Heads, but I think they're very inventive and fun.
let's talk about three things that you want to promote right now because we got like 3 minutes left. So talk about whatever you want. The top three things you want to talk about.
Well, I just finished my first mockumentary, and thank you. I did all the editing, and I got it down from 8 hours of footage to 22 minutes, so I can enter it in short film festivals. And it's called Claw Master, and it's all about me being a master of the claw. You know those things where you get toys? It's pretty funny, and I really had a great time making it. And in the fall, I'm going to have a Sisterhood for Good film festival where all the films are short films made by women, non-binary people, and LGBTQ. And in between the films, we're going to show videos of different film musicians. And so I'm pretty excited about that. We'll either do it at the Alamo or at the Austin Film Society, AFS. And because I like bringing groups together, but especially right now I'm focusing a lot on females and helping them move forward in their love of art. And then let's see what else. So I did the mockumentary. What's the third thing? Third thing I'm working on. Oh, I'm working on the second volume of the Texas Musicians Coloring Book. Hold on, I'll get it real quick.
I want it. I want it.
So volume 1 looks like this: an eclectic array of Texas musicians, hand drawn. Took me 2 years to draw it. I sold my grandmother's Steinway piano to pay for it, and it's full of musicians. So like there's Ornette Coleman. So there's always a portrait side, and then there's a fun facts page. So like here's Willie, right? I made it into a crossword puzzle. So there's all kinds of people in here, from punk to folk to rock to country. There's Beyonce. So this has so far raised $30,000 for the Sanford Community Center in Palacios and other nonprofits that I work with. So here's me in the back explaining my career, and there's Lyle Lovett and Jimmy Del Gilmore and people that give me little blurbs. So I'm working on the second volume, and it'll have 39 more musicians from Texas. And that's 3 things. I don't want to go on anymore about myself, but there's 3 things I'm working on.
Outstanding. Outstanding, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Sara Hickman. Wait, no, I was right. Sign language.
You. Thank you so much, Sonia. This is really sweet, and I'm really honored that I got to be on your show. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My lift as I climb, it's like, come on, we got stuff to do. Let's go. Let's go. We got things to do. So. Yes. I appreciate you being here. We're going to get out. I'm going to say, y'all say goodbye to Miss Sara. I'll say, Greenie. All right. We'll see you next week. We'll be back here again. And Sara, if you'll hold on, I'll talk to you after. And peace and love and happiness, people. Peace.